This is Matt Lindsay, owner of Southside Strength and Fitness, and this is the beginning of our Southside Trainer series. So we're going to be putting together a series of videos, each one with one of our trainers here at the gym. Now, each trainer is operated as a 1099 independent contractor, but they bring a vast variety of different disciplines, different training styles, what they do, what they niche down into. And so we're going to be working out with each one of them over the coming weeks so that you guys learn more about them, their backgrounds, why they do what they do, and who might be a best fit for you as a member, as an aspiring member, someone looking to get back in the gym, or maybe you've been in the gym for quite some time, you're just hitting plateaus. So we're going to cover all of that, and I can't wait for you to meet all of our new trainers. So today we got Ragnar Stegall with us. Ragnar, what's the name of your training company?
My training company is The Beast Within, Primal Fitness.
The Beast Within, I love it, man.
Yep.
So we're gonna jump into a workout here for that you put it together for us today. It sounds like we're hitting maybe some back and chest, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna do a light back and chest workout, take you guys through some of the movements and things that Ragnar teaches his clients. There's going to be a lot of back and forth during this, so I'm excited to learn more about Ragnar, your background, the disciplines, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for being here today.
Absolutely, yeah. My background is mostly in martial arts and weightlifting.
Okay.
I've kind of built my program over the last 10 years off of my education in sports sciences through ISSA and my personal experience as a lifelong lifter and athlete.
That's awesome, man. So what are we hitting first today?
Let's start with the bench press.
Sounds great. So I know one of the biggest questions people ask when they come into the gym, what do you bench press? Do you get that all the time?
I do.
I mean, that's the number one question you hear, especially from younger lifters, lifters who are new to the gym. They just see the big numbers on the bench, the other two big compounds, but it's not all about how much you can, right?
Absolutely not. No, myself, I only have I only max out at maybe 235.
Okay.
And what I try to focus on more is what you're getting out of it. How is your technique? How is your form? And how hard are you working yourself in the lift?
Exactly.
Because the weight really doesn't matter. What matters is how hard you're personally pushing yourself. And that's the beauty of fitness, is it's so individual. If you're struggling to get 3 reps with 125 pounds, then you're getting a phenomenal workout.
And I hear you talking to clients all the time, and trying to figure out what their goals are, right?
Yep.
What they're trying to do, what they're trying to maybe rebuild. Maybe there's an injury they're coming back from. Maybe they're older and haven't been in the gym for a while, so a lot of people just come in and, I'm going to get as much as I can on the bench, and shoulder injury.
Yes.
Right? And injuries all over the place. So you actually take them methodically through and figure out how does this fit into that coming back, that program that works all together.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very, my program all around is custom tailored to each one of my clients' unique needs. We start with an FMS, a functional movement screening, see where the limitations are. I spend a lot of time talking to them, figuring out, hey, what's been injured, what's bothering you, what hurts, and then I watch them. I see where they've got limitations in range of movement, range of motion, things along those lines, and we work everything around that and try to get their body back to where they want it to be.
So we did some great work here on the bench. We're going to wrap this up here, and it sounds like we're going to hit dumbbell rows next.
Yeah, let's move into some rows. I'm a big fan of balance.
Okay.
Anytime we do a push, we get so much stronger in the anterior chain than the posterior chain. So anytime we do a push, I like to balance it with some kind of back move, either a row or a pull down. So we'll move right into some dumbbell rows and work our back a little bit with our chest.
Gotcha. So we hit chest. Now we're going to go hit the opposite movement, which is the back.
Yep.
And then we got some more chest after that. You go back and forth, or what do you traditionally do?
Yeah, I traditionally will do a big compound move, generally the bench press, or sometimes I'll do like a dumbbell bench press to mix it up. And then usually follow it with some kind of like accessory move, like an incline press, and then move into back from there. And sometimes I'll superset, especially if people are crunched on time. Sometimes we'll just jump back and forth and superset and really work and get a good sweat going.
Sounds good, man. Well, let's wrap this up and head over to the dumbbell rows.
Awesome.
So we're over here, we got the bench here, we got the dumbbell, you brought over an 80, we're gonna do a dumbbell row, right?
We're gonna do a bent over dumbbell row.
Like we said, this is counter to the bench, working the back, we just worked the chest. So why do we use this? Can you show me how it's done?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the dumbbell row because I like to train the body, at least sometimes unilaterally, where we're working one arm at a time. A lot of times we'll be stronger on one side than the other, and these type of moves will kind of balance that out. So you can't, cheat and pull harder with your stronger side. The way it'll work is we'll get down here, we want our chest low, we want our lower back flat, and like any back move, the back's a huge dynamic muscle. And so the key with it is when you come down, you kind of want to internally rotate the shoulder, stretch the lat out, and when you come up, you want to pull with that lat, it's stretched, pull with that lat and contract it all the way. So we're gonna run it through the whole range of motion there, keeping our chest low and just really isolating that lat muscle in our back.
Now I see a lot of people that would just really swing that movement. Now are you doing more of a controlled movement?
I am doing more of a controlled movement. Kind of with everything, we wanna keep it under control and use weights that we can safely manage.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And I hear that a lot with kind of the white collar, if you will, the office workers hunched over and stuff like that. But we see them blue collar, laborers as well, whether it's shoveling, bent over, doing whatever type of plumbers, tradespeople. I mean, they're always bent over. You always see that hunch, right?
Yep.
So this would really just open that up and really kind of fix that problem, huh?
Absolutely. That is the idea behind this. And you're right, it used to be kind of isolated to white collar workers, but now, with the rise of smartphones and everything else, I think that probably somewhere in the 90% of the population range spends way too much time, hunched over a computer, hunched over a phone. And even, the blue collar workers, you're pushing, you're doing a lot of internal rotation in the shoulders, and you're missing a lot of this, work through the back here.
Hey, let's wrap this up. Let's head over to deadlift here.
Perfect.
So you got about 225 loaded up on the bar here, deadlift platform. Now, I know you don't just jump straight into 225, you don't just jump straight into deads. There's probably a lot of work that you do with clients to start with the bar, maybe even one of our wooden dowels to get that proper form down. Can you take me through that process? I mean, as somebody who may have never seen or heard of or done a deadlift, how are you gonna start with them?
Yeah, so I've actually taken a lot of clients from absolutely no experience weightlifting, limited mobility, not able to safely get into a low deadlift like this, all the way up to deadlifting relatively respectable weights. And the way that I started, I have a pretty good system. I always start with rack pulls. So we'll set up some safety trays over on the power racks, and we'll start rather than all the way down here. You can see this is about mid shin. We'll start kind of right below the knee because it's a lot easier to get our hips and keep our lower back flat and get our hips to this position than it is to get it all.
Kind of an elevated deadlift, start working and learning that movement.
Absolutely, and then we'll just slowly go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then once we get to the ground, we'll start with maybe no weight, just the white empty plates over there on the other side, and then once we can safely deadlift from the ground, then it's just a matter of building up weight.
And the empty plates you're talking about, those are our training plates, right? I mean, I think they're like 5 or 10 pounds each, but the same height, so it gives you exactly, the lift you would do here, the same movement, right?
Exactly, the same mechanics, just without weight. I mean, the bar weighs 45 pounds alone, so
okay.
When you've never deadlifted, it's something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. So what is this good for? Performance-wise, training-wise, what does this do?
This does a little bit of everything. I'm a huge fan of the big three power lifts. Anything where you're working, the deadlift specifically I love because it's man versus gravity. We're pulling heavy weight off the ground, and even if you're not trying to compete, it's the hip hinge, so it's learning how to keep our back flat while we hinge at the hips, activate our knees, activate all of these joints in unison. And whether you're moving a piece of furniture or you're trying to deadlift a few hundred pounds, it's all the same movement. That's how you're gonna go your whole life without injuring your back, is if you can safely learn how to hip hinge. So that's kind of just the practical application. And from a sport side, I mean, there's no better way to learn how to turn on motor units and fast twitch muscle fibers than the deadlift. I mean, it takes such a massive activation of muscle throughout your entire body, of bracing the core, that you're learning how to turn on powerful, fast twitch muscles really fast.
So you did a sumo, I did a conventional, just show a little bit of difference there. But man, I personally love the deadlift. I love how you implement it. You know, Beast Within. Tell me more about that. Why a Beast Within? And it's a Beast Within Primal Fitness, right?
Yep.
Okay, so where does that come from?
It comes from kind of the object or the idea behind that name was that in each of us there's a beast, you know what I mean? And yeah, we're trying to tap into that. We're trying to channel that energy, and we're trying to channel it into something that's constructive and good for us. The primal fitness aspect comes from my program is kind of like a comprehensive way of life. You know, we lived as nomadic hunter-gatherers for millions of years. That required an incredible amount of physical fitness. And so primal fitness is trying to reach back to our roots and regain that primal state of fitness.
I love it, man. And I love that you bring up all areas of your life, because you can win in one area, but if everything else is failing, that's not really the life that people are searching for, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, coming and approaching fitness, approaching training, approaching life in general, you know, holistically, I've always found when I focus on that, everything starts raising up, my stats go up, you know, everything I'm trying to do starts growing. So I love that you bring that up, man.
Absolutely, man, and I believe the same. And one of the coolest things about fitness is that what I found is it translates into every other facet of our life. It teaches us discipline, it teaches us delayed gratification, it teaches us that if you work really hard for something right now, you're gonna reap the rewards later. And that's like universal. You can apply that to business, you can apply that to family, you can apply that to every facet of your life to win, and that's what's so powerful about fitness to me.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, we got your website up on our, or a link to your website up on our website. So you go to southsidestrengthfitness.com, go to the About, there's trainer section, got your bio there with some contact information. But where else can people find you, get a hold of you, you know, reach out to you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. My Instagram's easy, the Beast Within 9. Facebook's basically linked to Instagram, and you can always find me on there. Shoot me a DM, my number's on there. Give me a call. We can talk about your fitness goals. We can talk about, you know, what's maybe limiting you and holding you back, and see if we can come up with some solutions.
And you're in here all the time. So, I mean, if people are coming in, you know, interested in learning more about training, they can just walk up, introduce themselves. If you're training someone, obviously give them a little bit of time here, but you guys connect and get some more information. Any last words?
No, man, I think we about covered it all. You know, my program kind of, you know, I operate off of three basic principles, and it's progression. It gets harder as we go on. You know, it's integration. It's an integration of weight training, conditioning, cardio, and lifestyle, and blending. It's a blend of the sports science literature and my experience as an athlete and a lifter. And that's kind of the bedrock of everything I do.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Stoked to get this out on who you are, the training you do, and everything else. So thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.